You need to prioritize low body fat. Over the last few years, doing this has changed the way that I see myself and how other people treat me. Throughout my fitness journey, there's been a couple times when I took the bulk too far, and every single time I saw the effects of what adding too much fat does to you. And it's not just the physical, it changes your energy, your confidence, and the way people respond to you. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the 3 key things that I learned about why staying lean is so important. Starting with the natural attraction that you receive from women. So a couple weekends ago, I was out with my friends, and this girl walks into the place where we're at, and she was gorgeous, a 10 out of 10, blonde hair, blue-eyed girl, my perfect type. So I go up and chat to her immediately. We're talking for a little bit, we're flirting. She definitely likes me, but when I ask for her snap, she tells me that she's got a boyfriend, a situationship type of thing going on, and that she just can't. But she likes me a lot, so I was like, how about we just get each other's Instagram? That's a little bit less personal. We'll just keep in touch, see how things are going. And then when I passed her my phone, she went over to my Instagram to look at my page before she added herself. And then she saw all my pictures where my abs are popping. I have a couple of different ones shirtless on, a pull-up bar, in the hot tub, my abs are popping. Just a couple different pictures looking really good. And she was just lighting up at these pictures. She was like, oh my God, she was showing her friend. She was zooming in on the abs. She was like, you could see her eyes just lit up. And she was like, okay, yeah, we'll definitely add each other. So we add each other, whatever. But the point is that when you are ripped and you are shredded, girls are going to treat you so much differently than when you are overweight. There's been a couple of times in my life where I've, taken the bulk too far, like I've said, gotten to maybe 18, maybe 19% body fat, and you could see it in my face. I was just less attractive overall. Staying at 15 at the most is kind of what I'm actually at now. I'm a little bit on the higher range, is as far as I'll take it. Then I'll dial it back and then continue to go from there. But you really want to prioritize being lean because the attraction you get from girls is going to be 10x. It's going to be so much better. The way that the world treats you at large when you are ripped and you look amazing is so important. Looks is one of the prerequisites to how you are going to be treated and the success that you're going to have with anything that you do. If you're not looking sharp in terms of your body, your style, the way that you carry yourself, understand that it has a massive detriment. So this is one of the first key areas that you need to get dialed in. And for that reason, I built every single one of you a shredded protocol. So this is going to break down everything you need to do to get absolutely shredded. The diet that I follow with different workout programs, it's all outlined for you. It's completely for free. It's the first thing in the description below. And this second thing is absolutely elite, which is the identity you create for yourself. So your identity is basically your self-image, the way you see yourself in your mind's eye. So having the identity of a ripped, lean guy is absolutely top tier. It's one of the best identities that you could have. So the way you see yourself is extremely important. It dictates the level of success that you have in absolutely everything that you do. So let's just use this in a social realm. So let's say you have a positive self-image and you see yourself really good in your mind's eye. You have a really positive self-image and you're ripped and lean and you're taking care of yourself. You got good style, good physique, everything. When you walk into a room with 3 beautiful girls, you see 3 opportunities to chat to beautiful girls and sleep with them or date them. Whereas if you have a negative self-image, if you don't see yourself in a positive light, if you're fat, if you don't have any discipline, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're gonna walk into that room and see 3 beautiful girls which you think are unattainable, which you don't even feel worthy of, so you won't even go and talk to in the first place. That's the power of identity and self-image. So that is why it's so important to create a really good identity for yourself and build a self-image of something that you really feel proud of. And that's what having a ripped, lean physique will do for you. So let me give you an example. Being an entrepreneur in the last 4 years, and honestly since I was 14, trying different businesses. Of course, my physique wasn't really that good until 17, but in the last 4 years specifically, I've had a good physique. And I've tried different businesses and failed miserably. I've been trying so many different things throughout the years and failing. And that's one huge area. And anyone who's tried a business or who's tried anything in general and failed can relate to that feeling and that way that it brings you down when you feel like things aren't going your way. But because I had a lean, ripped physique throughout this entire journey. And I always had the gym to go to make myself feel good, get those endorphins, and really maintain that top tier identity I was telling you about, the physique identity, that lean identity. I was always doing good socially. I've always been able to make friends, sleep with girls, have fun, and have success in those realms. Even when things have been at their absolute lowest, everything was going against me, I was still charming, charismatic. The world treated me really good because no one could really tell because they think so highly of you. And this is the crazy thing, which is that if there was a millionaire who was fat, like really fat, let's say a low-key millionaire, not like a super, super rich millionaire, but like maybe a couple $1,000,000. That's actually not that much in realistic standards. So he's got a couple $1,000,000. He's successful in his 9-to-5 job, or he's a lawyer or fucking whatever. And he's fat, let's say. But you're a lean, ripped guy who is sharp. You take care of yourself. You got good style. Let's say you're not broke, but you have just like a little bit of money. You get by. You're okay. People are actually going to see you as higher value, as higher status than the obese guy, because your body is the one thing that no one can give you. You have to earn it yourself. People might say, oh yeah, he's got some money, that fat guy, he's got a nice car, but it could have just been his parents' money. He could have just had the easy track for success. No one is going to be thinking the best thing of the fat guy who has no discipline. They're always going to assume negative labels with him. But when you're ripped and you're lean, people just automatically assume the most positive things about you. It's like, oh yeah, that guy, he's got nothing, he's got no money right now, but he's ripped and he's lean and he's got the discipline and he's always working hard and he's always trying things. He's going to be somebody one day. Like, that's the difference. Like, people will really see you in such a different light when you are ripped and lean, that it's so powerful. And the way that you see yourself is really the most important part of all this, because you're the one in your mind who's going to be able to dictate the results that you have. Everything generates from the mind, and the stronger your self-image is and the stronger of an identity that you have in a positive way, the more success you're going to have in life. That's as simple as it is. And one of the key best things that you can do to get that is build a lean, ripped physique. And the last thing is that your muscles will pop 10 times more when you are lean. When you are fat, it actually hides the muscle that you have. So if you are a beginner and you have a little bit of muscle, but you're lean, you're actually gonna look really good. I know so many guys here in Sweden who are skinny, who don't even work out, but they absolutely kill the game with girls because they're just confident and charismatic, and they don't even have muscle. So when you start to add muscle, it's only going to help you out, but being lean is really going to help you stay the most attractive version of yourself, get the most success socially, have the best identity, and then as you add muscle on top of that physique, you're only going to get more and more confident. So the big thing I would stray away from is getting too fat, taking the bulk too far, because muscle or fat will hide muscle. And that just takes away from the look that you're going for, that whole identity of being lean and ripped and attractive. That kind of dissipates then. And I've done this a couple of times, and it kind of sucks when you have that, you get that double chin. You start to have the fat cover up the separations between the muscles, like under the chest. If you get too fat, it'll take away the definition of the chest. It'll just kind of start to be one with your stomach. And same thing with the abs. You don't have the kind of, the valleys and the cuts in between them. You won't see the obliques. You won't see the lat come through. Same thing on the shoulder. These are all the areas that become so much more protruded when you are lean. So even when I was 14 to 17 doing calisthenics, barely having any muscle, I was super, super lean, low body fat at that time. I was probably single digit body fat most of that time. And because of it, I looked actually pretty good. And then when I was 17 and I finally took on bodybuilding, by the time I was, at the end of 17, turning 18, I was weighing about 132, 135. I know it doesn't sound like that much, but I'm 5'7". So at the time, being probably still single digit body fat, 135 pounds at 5'7", I actually looked pretty good. I was really lean with a bit of muscle, and you'd see it on my shoulders, on my chest. You'd see the striations in the muscles, my abs, you could really see protruding. You'd even see the obliques, the cut with the lat. My waist was the tightest, it would possibly be. It was just a really good look. I looked very attractive with a shirt off, and I was always not wearing a shirt in the summer, so it just was a really good look overall. And that's really the benefit of being lean, is it just makes you look 10 times better. Even if you're starting out earlier in your journey, it will make you look so much more attractive. And I just want to put a quick caveat. So as I've mentioned, I do bulk. I do try and gain mass. That's the reason why now I'm 150 pounds and I look much bigger, much more filled in, shoulders, chest, back, things like that. So the only thing I would say is just don't take the bulk past 15 to 18% body fat. 18% and plus, you're getting fat. You're not doing the intended purpose anymore. You're just eating too much at this point. And it's just going to be harder to cut back down later. So what I do is I try and go up to say like 15%, then I'll just dial it back a little bit. So I'll just do a mini cut in the mix of my bulk. And it's not even that hard to do. It's just, you just dial back the food a little bit and you're fine. I don't even really need to track my calories to do it. It's just, I can do it intentionally. If I just set the intention for it, I'll dial it back and then I keep going at the bulk. And you do need to bulk in certain phases to gain the muscle that you want. But ultimately, staying lean, staying shredded should be the priority. You should look pretty good year round. So the time that you take a vacation, if it's in the winter, you're not like, fuck, I'm on my bulk, I don't even look good. You want to kind of be good looking pretty year round. That's really the key. It's not about, bulking so much to the point where you get fat and then cutting down. And it's just this whole drawn out process, which I've tried before. And it's just not the same. It's so much better to stay lean year round, and the progress that you make is pretty much the same. So I don't really see the point in bulking too far. That's the last thing I want to just mention. So once again, if you want to get shredded, if you want to get lean, if you want to get 10 times the attraction from girls, if you want your muscles to pop 10 times more, and you want to create the best possible identity and self-image for yourself, then grab the Shredded Protocol. That's going to be completely for free. It's the first thing in the description below.